While you check out what's behind you, let's go to Craig Lindell from Waiting for Next Year. Craig, your background is nice. Not as nice as Andy's, obviously. Hey, brother, am I wrong? I'm pretty sure I was, because I do go to your guys' site. I thought maybe 6 weeks ago you guys were writing about possibly what Brian Hoyer would be worth on the free agent list. Am I wrong in saying that, or did you actually do that?
No, we did write about that. But first things first, woof, woof, gentlemen.
Woof, woof.
Woof, 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 woof.
No, yeah, I early on I was talking about Brian Hoyer getting Andy Dalton money, and now Andre, even after what's gone down with Brian Hoyer over the last few weeks, I still think that he's probably going to get somewhere in that ballpark of a 3-year, $30 million deal, and once the fine print comes out, it's going to be between 15 and 18 guaranteed over 2 years. It's going to look like a 2-year deal, and I don't see any reason why. This is the thing that bothers me most about the way people look at Brian Hoyer. I don't even care that he's a local kid. I get that story angle, but it's just a story angle. The bottom line is that Brian Hoyer is only, 1 year coming off a knee surgery. He's in his first year in Shanahan's offense. There's this idea that what we saw from Brian Hoyer is exactly what he's going to be next year. He couldn't possibly get better. But you know, a first-round draft pick like Johnny Manziel is nothing but a rising stock with potential. And at this point, I'd rather bet on Brian Hoyer getting better, a second year in that offense, another year off that knee injury. I know he's not a 10-year answer for the Browns at quarterback, but I don't need a 10-year answer right now. I need a 1 or a 2-year answer.
No, I couldn't have said it better. I totally agree. I've been asking everybody, what's been the best moment of the 2014 season? I know you guys do stuff like this on the website all the time. What stands out to you the day after the season ends?
Oh, easily the Bengals beating the Bengals. Easily the highlight of the year, probably the highlight of the last few years.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. All right, what will you guys have up? I know this week will be fun. We'll hear from Coach at 2 o'clock. What can we expect from you guys at Waiting for Next Year?
Oh, first of all, I can't wait to hear what Coach actually has to say, because you know he's going to say something. And sometime this week I will be writing about why I'm not down on this Browns team, why I'm actually very encouraged. It's the first time in recent memory, and I wrote this yesterday, it's the first time in recent memory that the owner, the GM, and the head coach have all seemed to actually be on the same page. I think it's the first time since Eric Mangini was wearing all 3 hats.
That's the only how great anybody was going to agree with Mangini at the time. Have we seen Josh Gordon, in your opinion, for the last time in a Browns uni?
No. Just from a business standpoint, it's just a receiver, and they're going to have him under control, and they're not going to be able to get anything for him. So, you know, you just use him. He's asking to be used. He's asking to be treated like a book of stats. So they'll continue to do that, I think.
I hear you, Craig. We appreciate it. Happy New Year. Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, all that good stuff to you. We appreciate you joining, and we'll make sure we send people your way at Waiting for Next Year.
It was a fun year, guys. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Great job. Take care, buddy. You agree with Craig, or you go the other way? I'm on the other side with Josh Gordon. I think we've seen the last of number 12 in a Brown uniform. Just me. And I get what Craig's saying, Andy, but I think we're done with him.
Oh, I do too. The question is what team's going to pick him up and how long will he last for the next team.
Right.
I think that's the only thing left for him. Although I do agree with that. I had said that in the beginning of the show, that the optimistic way to look at things for the Browns right now, and I think it's because of what Jimmy Haslam said yesterday, is no matter what you think, they may not always agree, but right now, Jimmy Haslam, Mike Pettin, and Ray Farmer look like they're all on the same page. And if that's true, then that means this franchise is going in the right direction.
Absolutely. All right, let's bring in Tim Couch. It's time to grade the team for the final time in 2014. And unfortunately, we don't got our guy Kenny Rhoda with us. He's a little under the weather. But I think I can give Kenny's grades. F. We'll keep it simple for him. Before we get into the grades, Tim, I told you the last time we were talking to you, I would ask you what you think the Browns should do at quarterback for 2015. What do you think? We're all saying bring Brian Hoyer back. What are your thoughts?
I think bring Brian Hoyer back as well, and I think he's your best option. You know, I think you really have to look at what's available to you in the free agent market at the quarterback position for next year, and it's really not that good. I mean, you go down the list and you look at all those guys, and you have to ask yourself the question: do these guys give us a better chance or as good a chance to win football games as Brian does? And I don't think that they do. I think Brian has a tremendous amount of respect within the locker room from the players. the veteran players in that locker room. I think he's proven that he can win football games for you. And I think if you show him a little bit of commitment and, you don't, threaten to pull him every time he has a bad game or two, that, if you show him that type of commitment, I think he's a guy that you can win games with over the next couple of years. I'm not saying commit to him, he's not your franchise player over the next, 7, 8 years, but over the next couple of years, I really do believe that Brian gives you the best opportunity to win football games.
I agree with you. All right, go ahead, Andy.
Tim, let me ask you this question. Johnny Manziel's bad play, how much money did that earn Brian Hoyer? I would have thought that when Hoyer got hooked, it cost him a lot of money, but the fact that Manziel looked so bad, I think he actually made money for Brian Hoyer.
I think right, and I think everyone was expecting to, for the quarterback play to be elevated when Johnny came into the game, and everyone was so down on Brian for the 4 or 5 game stretch that he had. But it just kind of, to me, and I think a lot of other people, it just kind of reassured you how well Brian was playing because, the team around him kind of, fell apart with some injuries and things like that as the season went on. But, I really go back to the beginning of the season when, Brian was playing at his best and they were winning football games. They were sitting at top of the division there for a while. And, Brian showed that he can win some games. And, he showed that he can win games late, make plays down the stretch of the football game, not just be a game manager. He showed a lot of things that I think you look for in a quarterback that you can go out and win games with. You can trust, and I think that it would be his second year in this system. I think he has a great understanding of it, and to me, he just is an easy fit to bring him back. I think he's going to be someone that a lot of teams are going to go after in the free agent market because he's going to be one of the higher profile guys. But I think that the Browns need to fight to bring that guy back, man. I really do.
Eric, the referee, let's get this thing started, buddy.
All right, quarterback, Connor Shaw, 14 of 28, 177 yards, 1 interception, and he finishes the year with 2 more passing yards than Johnny Manziel.
Wow, we'll start with Tim. What are your grade for the quarterback yesterday?
I gave him a B-. I think if you were just grading him on an overall, if this was just any other NFL quarterback, it would have probably been way less than that. But if you have to factor in all the circumstances that this kid was thrown into with, being a practice squad player, taking reps as a safety on the practice squad, for a lot of the year, and they just throw him in the starting lineup on the road against a playoff team like Baltimore. I thought he showed a ton of poise. I thought he showed a ton of toughness, and he was prepared, and that's what I wanted to see out of him. He gave the team a fighting chance to win, so I gave him a B-.
Andy, your thoughts on your grade on Connor Shaw?
I agree with everything Tim said, and I'll just add that hit that he took on the Gabriel hit pass yesterday that set him up for the first touchdown. The fact that it was the Browns had a chance to win this game with a guy that was a third-string quarterback, undrafted, he proved a lot. I think he should be graded on a different scale because of the level of expectation that we had for him. I thought the Browns were going to get blown out yesterday, that the doors blown off. He gave them a chance to win. They were in it in the fourth quarter, and as we've seen so many times before, if the defense can make a big stand here or there, I know Connor Shaw didn't look great in the fourth quarter, but, they were in it. And for that alone, I give him a B.
I gave him a B-, guys, but I go off of everything you guys said. I think the biggest thing earned yesterday was respect in the locker room amongst his teammates. And I hope Johnny Manziel realized it's not the plays you make, just being prepared will gain the respect of your teammates. I hope he picked up on that. Eric, where to next?
All right, running back Terrence West, solid game yesterday, 18 carries, 94 yards, and a touchdown.
Andy, your thoughts?
Why don't we put up this? I can't remember what I gave him yesterday. We talked yesterday. I gave him a B yesterday. Look, he almost had 100 yards rushing, and if you want to talk about maturity, Terrence West looked like he's maybe matured a little bit over the week. They gave him the opportunity. He went out, and he delivered. It was nice to see the running game. They ended up with, 17 rushing touchdowns this year, over 4. They only had 4 last year, so he gets the benefit of the fact that the running game and the rushing attack was a little bit better this year. And let's not forget, they're rookies, and they're only going to get better when it comes to running back.
Absolutely. Tim, your grade on the running backs yesterday?
I gave him a B+. I thought Terrence looked really good. He looked fresh. He was making great cuts. He saw the field very well. He took a lot of pressure off Connor Shaw, and that's what they had to do going into that football game was go out and establish a running game. He goes for almost 100 yards. So I thought he played really well, and it was good to see him kind of get out of that doghouse he's kind of been in and out of all season long and show what he's capable of doing. And I think next year shows a lot of promise with those 2 rookie backs.
A lot of promise from them. I agree with you. I like the ball in their hands. I hate that they don't block. They have to work on blocking in the passing game going forward. I gave them a B- because I do think they're both explosive, and I like that you have both of them to kind of push each other. And I think you saw that they have youth because when you sent Terrence West back to Baltimore, where his hometown, played great. Crowell played back in Atlanta in his hometown, played great. Now they have to play that way every week to be great NFL players. Eric, where to, buddy?
All right, the defense did a good job holding them to only 3 points at halftime, but it kind of fell off at the end. Grade the defense.
Let's start off with Tim. Oh, Andy.
I gave the defense a C just because the first half they were an A+. I mean, they were unbelievable in the first half, forcing 3-and-outs after 3-and-out, getting pressure on Flacco. And the second half, I think, with all the injuries they have on that side of the ball, I think they just kind of got worn out a little bit, and they broke down on some fundamental things defensively. And Joe Flacco got hot in the second half and picked them apart. So, for me, it was overall a C-. But I thought that first half was a pretty impressive performance from them.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think I was at a C or C- as well. A lot of respect to how they were able to stop the run, and they held up early in the game. Obviously late, those last 2 drives out of gas. But I give a lot of credit to the Dansbys, to the John Hughes, to Jabal Shear, Joe Hayden. A lot of those guys did not have to play. Craig Robertson had a great year. I gave him a C, but I respect them a lot more than I did 16 weeks ago. Andy, with the Kenny Rhoda grade of the day. What's up, buddy?
All right, I gave them an F, but that was because I was at a wedding party last night, and I didn't realize that Joe Hayden had the flu yesterday. C is a much fairer grade. I think you guys are both correct on that. I think the disappointing thing is when you go back and look at this season, the opportunities the defense had to stop the other team in the fourth quarter and make a loss into a win. My buddy was driving by this. Cut the line. To make a loss into a win would have changed things around a little bit. So, I was disappointed in the defense yesterday because I thought Connor Shaw gave them a chance to win. I needed big plays late, and I was, I didn't realize Joe had the flu yesterday. So, see you later. There it is, my guy.
Is that your ride back to your room?
Did you find the water boy?
You found the water boy.
Say that again?
Did you find the water boy?
Did you find the water boy?
I just lost you again.
Don't
Say
worry
it one more
about
time.
it.
What about the water?
He said, did you find the water boy is what Eric said.
Yes, I did. I found the water. He said, this H2O is spectacular.
All right, let's grade the coaches. Let's start with Tim.
I gave the coaches a B. I thought they had a good game plan going into yesterday. Obviously, a tough situation with so many guys being injured, so many guys being out. But, they were handcuffed a little bit with, Connor. They couldn't really have an aggressive game plan offensively because of his lack of experience and his lack of arm strength to really push the ball down the field. So they did what they could do on offense. Defensively, I thought, like I said earlier, they just kind of broke down at the end of the game with, just being worn down overall. But, I thought the coaching was good. The players just had to go out and make a few more plays, and they had a chance to win that game.
Yeah, I gave him a C, but overall for the season, I give Mike Pettin a B. Still a lot of room to grow, but I think for the most part, his team responded to him. He came in with a game plan and stuck to who he is as a person. I think all 3 of us know, and we've seen situations where it gets tough here in Cleveland, coaches sometimes become other people. I think Mike Pettin will always be Mike Pettin. Now they need to put some help around him. I think Ray Farmer's got to find the type of person that plays hard for Mike Pettin. I think they missed on that a little bit. Andy, you're great on the coach.
All right. First of all, Eric, this is not fair because I'm on vacation, and I must have been drunk when I gave you that grade yesterday of an F. I can't believe it. I don't remember telling you that I gave Pettin an F yesterday.
You were channeling your inner Kenny Rhoda or something.
I think I was just mad. I was like, give everybody an F. They lost yesterday. Look, I think the offense, I thought that overall Kyle Shanahan gave Connor Shaw a good game plan to try to go out and do what he could do within the abilities that he had with a limited playbook for a guy that only had a week with the first team, with the first teamers. When you look at the big picture and what they were able to accomplish this week and being able to lay down the law with some young guys and trying to prove to them and show them that if you don't work hard, you're not going to play. And please, can you guys explain this to me? What was Johnny Manziel thinking, tweeting during the game while he was in the locker room? How stupid was that? Going back to the coaching, it wasn't an F. Yesterday was, they went out there, they competed, they had a chance in the fourth quarter. I'll go see again, and excuse me for probably being drunk at a wedding party when I gave out that F.
All good. Tim, we appreciate everything you've done for us here this year, man. It's been a pleasure to talk to you every Monday. I know you got those 2 little guys. What do you have planned for the offseason now? What will Tim Couch be up to?
Well, I appreciate you guys having me on the show. I really enjoyed doing it, and you guys made it a lot of fun. And it was fun for me to be back involved in talking about Browns football again. But so far, and here are the holidays. I'm actually getting on a flight here in a couple hours to go down to West Palm Beach, and my wife and kids are already down there and enjoying the warm weather. So I'm going to be like Andy and go find a beach somewhere and lay up for a couple days.
Good for you, man. God bless you. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that good stuff.
Okay,
Tim,
thank you,
thanks
guys.
a million.
See you
I
soon.
really appreciate you being a part of the show this year. I was really enjoyable, and you really helped us learn a lot, especially from the position, and kind of go back on some of the things that you were able to do. I'm really looking forward to next year. Hopefully big things for all of us as far as our Brown situation works out. So, Tim, thank you. I can't thank you enough for being a part of the show.
Thank you so much, Andy. I appreciate it, buddy.
Take care, Tim. God bless you. Merry New Year. Happy New
Thanks,
Year, and
Frank.
all that other good stuff.
Happy New
Take
Year,
care,
guys.
brother. All right.
Happy to.
I'm putting it all